Welcome back to Dirtbag America, where we spite our corporate overlords by building shit for free. Not gonna lie, it is a weird time to exist as an everyday working class American citizen right now. It kind of reminds me of when the Parshendi finally released the Everstorm across all of Roshar, but nobody would believe the desolation was coming until it actually hit their city. If you don't know that reference, well, that's a shame. But you know what I mean. I feel like a lot of us are struggling with this sense of powerlessness, like we see the doom on the horizon, but we just don't really know what to do. Personally, I've joined a couple signal groups, taken some trainings, and met up with my community to talk about direct action. But beyond that, there's only so many times I can sit in my RV and doom scroll the brutality of my government on everyday people, both in the US and outside of it. So, anyway, today we're building an irrigation system using this old shitty garden hose that I got for $12. I find getting the body sore and the butt cheeks a little sweaty really helps with that sense of impending desolation. Now, you may be watching this video and think, wow, this looks so easy, and I wish that was the case. Turns out threading a crusty, sun-baked piece of rubber through a bunch of tiny slots is not the easiest thing to do. My fingers got pretty beat up from massaging the dirt out of this wet box for 20 minutes. But hey, it was great practice. And I don't know, besides that, I'm 34, and yanking on a slippery tube for an hour and a half can kind of fuck up my lower back. But at this point, there's about 50 feet of this hose buried throughout my yard, so I'm definitely not turning back. I think what most excites me about doing this job is the comments that I will undoubtedly receive telling me that this was a waste of time and it's definitely not going to work. Those are my favorite comments because, you know what? I don't care. Wasting a bunch of time on something that doesn't end up working happens to be one of my favorite activities. I had to do some quick Sawzall surgery here because, oh yeah, I filled the bottom third of these garden beds with wood. Just another one of those genius ideas that was probably inspired by a little bit too much gummy a little too early in the morning. Now I just have to quickly bury this hose so that my landlord will have no idea I tore up 70 feet of his yard and we're pretty much good to go. I've always been the worst garden waterer, so I'm hoping this setup will help me stay on top of it a little better. But wait, Jake, how's the water going to get out of the hose into the garden beds? Great question, Dirt Babies, and don't worry, Dirt Daddy has a plan. Okay, everybody, don't worry, we're gonna make it through this shit one day at a time, and tune in for part 2 to see how this system turns out.